I'll talk about the role of media startups and innovation in the news business in India and abroad. But before getting into this topic, I had to explain who is an entrepreneur. So, an entrepreneur is someone who innovates or introduces something new in an economy. Entrepreneurship is introducing something new that are generally not done in the ordinary course of business. So, innovation may be in introducing a new manufacturing process that has not been tested before or commercially exposed before, introduction of a new product with which the customers are not familiar, or introducing a new quality in an existing product, locating a new source of raw material or semi finished product that was not exploited earlier, opening a new market hitherto unexploited or unexplored, where the company products were not sold earlier. It can also be developing a new combination of means of production. So, innovation involves problem solving, and an entrepreneur is a problem solver. So, innovation, risk taking factor, and problem solving instinct, all these three constitute or combined entrepreneur or entrepreneurship. So, innovation means to renew or change, which refers to the creation of better or more effective products, processes, technologies, or ideas that are accepted by markets, governments, and society. Innovation differs from invention or renovation in that innovation generally signifies a substantial positive change as compared to incremental changes. Invention in concept or ideas or technology needs to be transformed in innovation when they create value in the society and thus contribute to the uplift of an economy. So, innovation value chain represents the very general sequence of activities that create value in our society and economy. So, discoveries or different researches have resulted in new ideas in the form of knowledge and concepts. Inventions result in new technologies and business models. Innovation exploits inventions to allow for the creation of value through commodities, goods, services, and experiences. Therefore, innovation, entrepreneurship, and capitalist factory system, all these three are intertwined or interlinked in media entrepreneurship or entrepreneurship in general. In business and economics, innovation is the catalyst to growth. With rapid advancement in transportation and communications over the past few decades, the old world concept of factor endowments and comparative advantage, which focused on an area's unique inputs, are outmoded for today's global economy. So now, competitive advantage or the productive use of any inputs which requires continual innovation is paramount for any specialized business to succeed. Economist Joseph Schumpeter, who contributed greatly to the study of innovation, argued that industries must incessantly revolutionize the economic structure from within. That is, innovate with better or more effective processes and products, such as the shift from the craft shop to factory. So, factory system is synonymous to capitalist economy, which thrives on profit, and to maximize that profit requires constant innovation. He famously asserted that creative destruction is the essential fact about capitalism. So, what is this creative disruption or disruption? What he meant? That creative destruction refers to the incessant product and process innovation mechanism by which new production units would be put in place, whereas the older mechanisms will be outdated. So it was coined by Joseph Schumpeter, who considered it as the essential fact about capitalism. So innovation involves changing the status quo with respect to customer experience, product performance, business process, alliances, and the channels of distribution, or the way the product or service is ultimately delivered to consumer. Innovative entrepreneurship impacts the economy at three levels. So, at the aggregate level, at the consumer level, and at the business level. So, the positive effects of innovation percolate through the economy. Now, I have to talk about problem solving and risk factor. So, innovation has an integral connection with problem solving, as the dire imperative of innovation is to bring about positive changes in the economy and the society, and thus change will create a conducive environment for eliminating or minimizing certain socio-economic problems existing at the prevalent system of production. So, primitive system of business as existed in village economy could not cover the broader needs of the people living outside one particular village. And when industrial revolution occurred, this sudden change was required for non-agricultural manufacturing system needs to be replaced by an organized factory system, and thus it helped solve the needs of mass production and scale of economy. So, mass production at a lower cost. So, innovation also involves risk, the risk of exploring the unknown and convert all uncertain or unknown opportunities or predictabilities, uncertainties in a positive, conducive growth or development. So, there is a history behind Indian entrepreneurship. The rise of Indian entrepreneurial class is marked by the entry into manufacturing sector initiated by the three communities of the country, and those are the Parsis, the Gujaratis, and the Marwaris. The probable reason of such an entrepreneurial plight of these communities may be ascertained through this scenario. With the advent of factory system around the middle of the 19th century, the three main Indian communities which entered the entrepreneurial field were the Marwaris, Gujaratis, and Parsis, which is the apparent contradistinction between the hierarchical view of society as contained in Indian caste system and the obvious vigor or courage of Indian trading communities. Then the Indian government followed the path of planned development and made efforts to expand the socio-economic space of entrepreneurship But in reality, over 4 decades of planned development, the numerical strength of the very small, tiny, and village industries in the country has been high. So, the economic reforms started by the Indian government since 1991 have indeed brought out a new economic regime in which the policy of promoting liberalization, privatization, and globalization has been contributing to expand the social space of entrepreneurial supply, increase the number of industrial units, and swell the magnitude of industrial production. Now, I'll discuss media entrepreneurship or startups in the evolving landscape of the news business, focusing on the pivotal role of media startups and their innovative approaches in India and globally. So, I will discuss how these startups are disrupting traditional models, fostering new forms of journalism, and addressing the challenges and opportunities presented by the digital age. So, this discussion will encompass the impact of technology, changing consumer habits, and the need for sustainable business models in the news industry. So, the news business is undergoing a profound transformation driven by technological advancements, shifting audience preferences, and the rise of digital platforms. So, traditional media organizations are grappling with declining revenues, shrinking readership, and the need to adopt or to adapt to a rapidly changing environment. In this context, media startups are emerging as key players, injecting innovation, experimentation, and fresh or new perspectives into the industry. So, the rise of media startups are typically characterized by the agility and innovative spirit of the media entrepreneurs and focus on niche audience or specific forms of content. All these media entrepreneurs often leverage technology to create new ways of delivering news, engaging with the audiences, generating revenue. So, over the past 15 years, social media has rapidly transformed into a powerful force for connection and community building. As a defining marketing tool of the 21st century, social media has played a pivotal role in elevating the visibility and success of both individual and businesses. So, this digital revolution has given rise to a wide range of new skills and services. In India, a social media revolution is unfolding and therefore empowering countless independent creators and small enterprises to thrive. All these platforms are fostering a new wave of micro entrepreneurs, enabling people to embrace the spirit of being your own boss and take charge of their voices, creativity, and talents or potential. So, who are the Indian micro entrepreneurs? Indian micro entrepreneurs are individuals who run small scale business or personal brands with limited investment and resources. So, they include small business owners from metropolitan, urban, and semi urban areas, freelancers with artistic or professional expertise, solopreneurs, and different digital content creators who influence audiences across various niches. So, for these entrepreneurs, social media has emerged as a highly accessible and powerful tool to connect with potential customers and promote their offerings and build loyal communities. Until a few years ago, social media in India was largely considered as an elite space, accessible mainly to English speaking users. However, this perception began to shift dramatically after 2016 with a surge in internet penetration across the country. As more Indians came online, especially those who preferred consuming content in regional languages, a new digital ecosystem started to take shape. This demographic shift paved the way for homegrown social media platforms that prioritizes Indian languages and culturally relevant content. These platforms have democratized digital access, making the Indian social media landscape truly inclusive. Today, entrepreneurs from diverse backgrounds, regardless of geography, income level, or formal education, can leverage social media to grow their business, reach niche audiences, and leave a meaningful impact. Whether through regional advertising, creative content, or collaborations with local influencers, micro entrepreneurs and media business are harnessing the power of social media to thrive in the digital economy. However, there are certain blurring boundaries between creators and micro entrepreneurs. An evolving trend in India's digital ecosystem is the merging identities of content creators and micro entrepreneurs. Increasingly, around 70% of users on Indian social media platforms now come from tier 2 and tier 3 cities and small towns. So, this shift has enabled regional creators and micro influencers to engage deeply with relevant audiences, grow substantial follower base, and monetize their content while simultaneously building personal brands. Today, content creators with dedicated communities can tap into diverse monetization streams such as virtual gifting during live streams, microtransactions for services like astrology, consultations, or online classes, revenue shares from advertisement, brand partnership, sponsored content, and live or video based commerce. So many of these creators have transitioned into full fledged businesses, transforming their passion into sustainable enterprises. Conversely, micro entrepreneurs are increasingly adopting the creator model to grow their business. For example, a bridal makeup artist in a tier 3 town, by sharing videos showcasing her makeup techniques, beauty tips, or traditional remedies, she can organically attract potential clients without investing in conventional advertising. Through consistent, creative, and relatable content, she can build both visibility and trust, the essential elements for business success in the digital age. In this way, The line between creator and entrepreneur is fading, with each role reinforcing the other in a mutually empowering cycle of growth. Now, I'll talk about SMBs thriving on social media. So, a new generation of small and medium businesses across India, spanning both urban centers and smaller towns, is leveraging social and digital media platforms to reach consumers directly. This direct to consumer, that is D2C model, offers a cost effective way to scale both nationally and globally their business. So, industry projections suggest that the Indian D2C market could surpass 100 US billion dollar by 2025. So, in this landscape, maintaining a presence on social media is no longer just a branding luxury, it has become a strategic necessity. So, Indian social media platforms offer extensive targeted reach, real time data analytics, and instant feedback loops, enabling SMBs to engage more effectively with customers and adapt quickly to market needs. So, as more small businesses embrace all these digital tools and platforms, they are not only transforming their own growth trajectories but also contributing significantly to the local economies and the broader national marketplace.